It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to one of the craziest days I believe I may have ever had in my life. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News. And this has been a wild and woolly morning here. First off, today is, of course, the 22nd of March, 2022. Today is Bavarian Crepe Day. Now, did you know that Bavarian crepes in Bavaria are called Palatschinki? I'm just passing on some information that I'm sure will find useful. Palatschinkies in Bavaria, they're crepes. There was a crepe vendor on the Meraviglia. Unfortunately, that didn't seem to make many because they made some crepes, but not a whole lot of them. I used to do crepes some with my funnel cake business, but they were way too labor intensive for me for doing high volume stuff. All right, cruise ships sailing today. Not many. Jacksonville's got the American Queen Voyages MV Victory 1. Port Canaveral has Mariner of the Seas. Headlines today: first cruise ship back in Grand Cayman. Hong Kong begins reopening process. Radiance of the Seas to New Orleans and Galveston. Crystal's Creditor list tops 30,000. Good luck with that one. Montreal expecting 46 cruise ship calls. And a crew member missing in the Ukraine. That and a whole lot more here at 11 o'clock this morning. If you listen to this via the podcast, welcome aboard number one. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from, all the biggies, Google, Apple, Amazon, Pandora, Podchaser, Stitcher, all of them. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News. You'll get the old fat travel guy. And sometimes it's not going to be today because of all the side action that's been going on here today. There's always a description in the podcast. A link in the podcast description to the video feed in case I use clips or pictures of my cruises or other people's cruises. Or things that happen, whatever. And you want to check them out. So there's always a link there in the description to go check it out. Now, before we get to today's news, the craziness, some of you are familiar with this. There is a massive line of severe storms heading right for me. I am in Slidell, Louisiana. The hotel, when I got here yesterday, I had hoped to book another night. They were sold out. So that didn't work. So in the meantime, Hot Air, bless his heart, Hot Air had got me a place in Henderson, which is a couple hours on down the road, which under normal circumstances, I would have been fine. I would have checked out after doing the show today, drive a couple hours, not a killer day, the 5 or 6 hours it pretty well stretches me out, but drive a couple hours and then check into Henderson, and I would have been there tonight. But now we have this massive storms, possible tornado threats, wind warnings from 65 miles an hour on coming right at me. And they're supposed to start here anytime from now on. It looks most likely like it could start here about 1 o'clock. So at the absolute worst, let's say I left here at 12, I'm driving 2 hours right into the heart of the storm. Not a good option. So I was downstairs this morning for breakfast, and I went back to the desk again, and I said, look, guys, with this severe weather coming, maybe you'll get a cancellation. And in fact, I will be able to stay as opposed to driving into the teeth of the storm, which I don't want to do. I'd already come to the conclusion that even if I had no room, I would check out as required here at, I had checkout has to be by 12 o'clock my time, which is 11 o'clock their time, which will be at the end of the show. And I was just going to go, I just about decided to just park it in the lobby and wait it out because I'd be safer there than out on the road in the car and just see what happens. So that had been my determination of what I was going to do. Then, literally, 10 minutes ago now, front desk called and said, we got your room for tonight. So we had a cancellation. So thankfully, I'm staying here. I contacted Hot Air Tom. He got a hold of the people in Henderson again, moved that reservation now till tomorrow night. So I've, got a place for tomorrow night taken care of as well. So it's going to all work out now, but boy, it's been stressful all morning on what the heck I was going to do and how I was going to do it. Wow. Interesting day. But anyway, I figure I'm going to be as safe and sound right here in this hotel as I can be anywhere. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have a room. I just have to go down to the desk now and see if I have to change rooms or if I keep this one or, take care of the details and the paperwork. And I told them, I said, I got a show to do at 11. I'll come down as soon as it's over. And they said, okay, that's fine. We'll have the paperwork ready. I said, okay, sweet. All right. That's where it is. I'll be back with today's news right after this break from one of our network sponsors. All right, back with today's news. For the first time in 2 years, a cruise ship has returned to Grand Cayman. The Disney Magic landed there yesterday as part of a 5-night cruise from Miami. Guests received a warm welcome as they went ashore via, of course, tender boats. That's still a tender port. Disney Magic visited with approximately 2,500 passengers on board. That's a significant boost for the tourism industry in the Eastern Caribbean nation, especially for Georgetown, which is, of course, where the cruise ship anchor. Carnival Paradise will become the second cruise ship back when it lands there tomorrow. So Grand Cayman is back in business. Hong Kong has begun the process of reopening its borders in response to growing demands from the business community. A ban on flights from the United States, UK, Australia, Canada, France, India, Pakistan, Nepal, and the Philippines will end April the 1st. At the same time, hotel quarantine for arrivals from those destinations will be cut to 7 days from the current 14. They're still going to quarantine, but it's down to 7 days. Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam also confirmed citywide COVID mass testing will be put on hold. Most social distancing measures will gradually be eased starting April 21st, including allowing dining at restaurants after 6 p.m. Up to 4 people will be allowed at social gatherings during the first phase of reopening. So that's good news for Hong Kong. Interesting news from Royal Caribbean. Radiance of the Seas will not be sailing its planned Australian itineraries from October 2022 through April of 2023, and instead will be redeployed to offer Caribbean cruises from New Orleans and Galveston. While new reservations cannot be booked yet, Royal Caribbean International has confirmed the ship's change of home ports and new itinerary details in communication with travel partners. Following the Alaska sailing season, it appears that the ship's planned voyages to Hawaii, with an 11-night sailing from Vancouver to Hawaii departing September 23rd of this year, will still continue, though the next sailing, which was supposed to be 17 days from Hawaii to Sydney, Australia, is now going to be an 11-night itinerary back to Vancouver. After that trip, Radiance of the Seas will sail down the Pacific coast before passing through the Panama Canal en route to New Orleans. The ship's first sailing from the Big Easy will depart November 3rd. Radiance of the Seas will then move to Galveston, setting sail from the Texas home port beginning February 9th, 2023. Coincidentally, Terminal 3, Royal Caribbean's new $125 million home for Allure of the Seas in Galveston, is set to open in the fall of 2022. The massive 161,000 square foot terminal sits on top 10 acres in the eastern part of the port of Galveston, also known as Pier 10, and will be used exclusively by Royal Caribbean ships visiting or sailing from that city. Over the next 2 years, Carnival will home port its newest LNG powered vessel, Carnival Jubilee, in Galveston, while Norwegian plans to home port Norwegian Prima, the first of 6 Project Leonardo class ships, in Galveston. Galveston is going to be a very busy place. I mean, it already is now, but it's going to get even busier. So I'm hoping to actually get to Galveston now in a couple of days, because I'd like to spend some time checking out some of the excursions around Galveston, accessibility issues with them. I put in some calls this morning to talk to the port authorities about not having the same kind of situation I had in Port Canaveral. I have not heard back from them yet. I've also tried to get a hold of the Port Canaveral people. They're not answering their phone, but I got a plan of attack on that. Again, my plans for today on what I wanted to do today have gotten a little bit behind schedule with all the weather dealings this morning. It will be caught up this afternoon, however. An early look at potential Crystal Cruises creditors shows a list of 30,000 names, ranging from travel agents to book guests to vendors and suppliers. The names are listed in a recent court filing from Mark C. Healy, an attorney that has put together a claims program. Among interesting entries on the list of creditors is NYK, the former owner of Crystal Cruises, which sold the brand to Genting in 2015. Star Cruises is also listed as a creditor. What's next? The court-appointed liquidator's sell-off of Crystal assets should essentially create a pool of money for potential claims. Those that may have a claim can file through the website in hopes of getting some or all of their money back or being paid for goods and services. Proof of claims must be submitted with supporting documentation by June the 11th. Once the assets are liquidated, the assignee will seek court approval before Florida 11th Circuit Court Judge Alan Fine to distribute funds to those who have submitted claims. I hate to say this, but I have a feeling, folks, it's the money that they owe you. You might get 20 cents on the dollar or something like that. I got a feeling that everybody's going to get screwed on this deal. This spring, after 2 seasons canceled because of COVID pandemic, cruises are set to make a comeback at the port of Montreal. 46 cruise ship calls are scheduled. Depending on each ship's occupancy rate, this will bring between 40 and 50,000 passengers. In 2019, the cruise industry generated close to $30 million in economic benefits for the city of Montreal. For this season, the port reported a general trend towards smaller ships that offer more luxury and local excursion experiences. Great Lakes itineraries are especially popular, including Montreal, because of its strategic location. Good for Montreal to get back in business. I've never sailed to Montreal. I've not gone that far down the St. Lawrence before. I'd like to do that. That's one of my bucket list cruises, is to take take one all the way into Montreal and back. So it's kind of a troubling, sad news to report. A young cruise member has been reported missing in the war-torn city of Mariupol, of course, in the Ukraine. Family and friends are searching for the 26-year-old Anatoly Burma, who went missing on March the 2nd. He's a crew working for Italian cruise company Costa Cruises as an assistant bartender. Anatoly completed his contract and returned back to Ukraine on February 20th, arrived in Mariupol on February 22nd, just 2 days before the invasion of Ukraine started. His colleague, Camila Roca, has asked for help from the community in the form of tips about his whereabouts. If anybody has any information about Anatoly Burma, you can contact Camila Roca, or you can contact me and I can get the information to him. So our thoughts and prayers are with Anatoly and his family, and hopefully it's just that he's not where he can be in touch. So, excuse me. That's it for the news today. Let's go see who's in the chat room. Okay, Gretchen's with us. Hi, Gretchen. There's Hot Air Tom. Been talking back and forth with him all morning. Amy's with us. Carol's with us. Gretchen says, yeah, but I missed yesterday's weather. Yeah, I didn't get this far. Cindy's here. Hi, Cindy. Kenneth's with us. Hey, Kenneth. Nikki's here. Nikki, I just heard that this crap is going to come all the way your way by tomorrow. Tornadoes, yeah, there's a lot. There's tornado warnings have been up around the Houston area. And all that weather's coming right at me. So I stand put. This is a nice, sturdy hotel. And my hair's gotten totally messed up between running around like crazy this morning. Anyway, yeah, I'm sticking put right here. At least for tonight. Thankfully, you can stay put. Yeah, Carol, it's that's so thankful. I was just this something about this one had worried me. You know, I'm a pretty big time weather watcher, and usually I see my way around weather. This one just kind of struck me as this could be nasty. So, let the storms rage. You're safe and sound. Yeah, and hopefully it's not going to be so bad by the time it gets to you. Hot Air says, yeah, from all amount of hot air. That's correct. 18 days till Hot Air cruises again on the Escape. Any new news on the ship? I have seen nothing the past day. I checked on the Escape this morning and there's just no information. I don't know if, Norwegian kind of got their noose around their neck with how they handled the people that they kicked off the boat after it was grounded. And apparently, and a lot of these were unconfirmed reports, but apparently when they made everybody get off the ship and they moved them to the airport, supposedly to have charter flights home, and the flights weren't on time. There was a big to-do over that. There were no Norwegian people there to answer questions or to take care of things. They just dumped all the people and left them. Now, again, unconfirmed reports. So major news outlets weren't talking about this. This came from individual people, and rarely do I even report on that, which is why I didn't report on it, because I couldn't confirm it anywhere. But but Norwegian's just been really silent as to what's going on with the escape. So, and then they had, um, the one ship was able to repair azopods in port in Miami, which I also found interesting. Jason says, I figured weatherman Chillie would be tornado chasing live. Ain't gonna happen. I'll sit back and watch it online and project it. I'm not getting out there and chasing them live. Nope. Nope. Especially not in my new car. Are you nuts? No. I was kind of worried about this one. I don't mind admitting, I did not want to leave here. I mean, for me to say, okay, I'm just going to go plop my big fat butt down in the lobby and sit there, no matter what. That's how much I didn't want to get me in to start driving into this today. So, did those people stranded from DR Norwegian Escape get hung in? I don't know. I really don't. Again, the unconfirmed reports, they were having troubles, and they don't come back and say, okay, I'm home finally, or anything like that. So I don't know. Nanook of the North John's with us. Good morning, sunshine. You got sunshine up there right now? Let's see. I'll look out to see if. No, it's not sunshine. It's good and cloudy, but it does not appear stormy at this minute. Actually, we're probably looking at about maybe an hour or so away before we start getting some weather, and then more serious weather through the afternoon and evening. We'll just have to see. But anyway, Hot Air says, hello, Nanook of the North. Let's see, John, you got a new name now. Everybody's starting now to call you Nanook. Katie's with us. Hi, Katie. Morning. Hope you're staying safe. Yes, I am, Katie. Parked my fat butt right here. I got to go downstairs and take care of whatever paperwork, see if I've got to move or if I'm staying in this room or whatever. But at least it's going to be in this hotel. So, not sure yet what I'll do about dinner tonight. I have to wait that one out. But I mean, they have candy bars and stuff like that here. Had a nice breakfast, by the way. Holiday Inn Express does a very nice job with breakfast. Each hotel, I mean, it's the same basic menu, but each hotel, I guess because of their suppliers, the food is just a little different from each one of them. So, but it was good. They have, you got eggs. This one had real big sausage patties as opposed to the small sausage patties. The biscuits here were good. The gravy was excellent. The cinnamon roll was different from the cinnamon roll in Tallahassee. It was a little smaller, but it was a very tasty cinnamon roll, hot, fresh cinnamon roll. They have juice, of course. I went down to get coffee also. And again, I'm not the cereal guy, but they have, all kinds of cereals and stuff to do with that. Trying to limit my bread intake because I knew I was going to have biscuit and gravy because I'm weakness for that. So I didn't even look at the bagels and the breads and all that business. It was bad enough with the cinnamon roll and the biscuit and gravy, but anyway, so that's where it stands here. So I like the Holiday Inn Express. I like the way they do things. I enjoyed the breakfast. I wish they had. The only thing that's lacking is they don't have an in-house bar or an in-house restaurant like for dinner. And I mean, I understand why. That could either be really good for a hotel or could be really bad for a hotel. Let's see where we were over here. Oh, got a whole bunch of stuff added on there. There we go. Cruising is fun ending time. Good morning. Good morning to you there, cruising. Cindy says, good thing you have time to kill before you cruise. Like, oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, that's one of the things that was comfortable in me making this drive is I had a week to come across here. I could have done 18 miles a day, and well, not that little, but I tease my sister and brother-in-law that they travel 18 miles a day in that motorhome, and that's all they get. But yeah, I could have put it into really small segments if I wanted to. The way Hot Air set this up, which was terrific, it's about 5.5 to 6 hours a day of driving, would have put me there tomorrow, and I would have had all the time to do stuff around Galveston. So as it is now, I'll be maybe a day later getting there, which I can still got plenty of time to do everything I wanted to do and then some. So can't complain. I'm glad I did this. And again, others just I can't fuss about severe weather. That can happen anywhere. I heard the same about the Escape. Yep. No, I wish we knew what was going on with it. Cruise director with Doug Parker said this morning that Norwegian Escape was on its way to Florida. Yeah, but have they been able to repair it? That's the real main question. Are they going to be able to sail? And I have not gotten any kind of definitive notion on that yet. Gretchen says, even if you just get in the hail, your car would be ruined. Yeah, well, that's, and there's always that possibility. But we'll see what happens. If it gets ruined, I have insurance. So Escape has been in Port Canaveral since Sunday late afternoon. Oh, it's already in Port Canaveral. Be interesting to see what they say. Have they said anything about the next cruise? I have not seen anything on it yet. And I was looking this morning. Dee Dee and Mimi. Hi, I'm not familiar with you guys, but welcome aboard. Are you going to have a live show later today? I haven't thought about it, Kenneth. I did one last night just for the thought of doing it. If there's any news on the storm thing, yeah, I'll probably I might do a live later on, but I haven't even thought about that yet because I didn't know until literally 10 minutes before the show went on now that I was going to be staying here. I thought, I was either going to have to drive into the storm or sit tight in the lobby. So yeah, I'm you're on page 3 with that one. I'm still on the bottom of page 1. We have non and hot. Who else? He's a 3-letter name. Yeah. And that's Hot Air Tom. Why do we call you hot and not hat? Hot Air Tom. That would be hat. I realized hot, that's the first word. We could also call you hat, and that would be just as effective. Is it snowing up there, Nanook? Gretchen wants to know. Kenneth, sounds like a good idea. Chillie can video the stream from his window watching his car get blown away. Yeah, I can. Did you see the film of the van that got rolled in the storm yesterday and flipped up on its wheels and he kept going? That one was pretty awesome. Gretchen says, Tom up, you're not right. How about WTE for walkie-talkie Emily. Yeah, that'll work. Walkie-talkie Emily, WTE. Yep. Emily with her stealing the walkie-talkies every day. She's going to get her butt in trouble before it's over with. Kenneth says, make my own Twister movie. I'll really be famous. Yeah, Chillie doesn't want to be famous for that. I'll promise you. Gretchen says, too easy to type WTF by mistake, Tom. Yeah, that's true, Gretchen. Cruising is fun anytime it's starting to rain in Galveston again. I'm surprised it wasn't, I was watching it earlier as it was moving into the greater Houston area, but I'm surprised it hadn't started in Galveston sooner. Are you close to Galveston? Cruising is fun anytime. I had friends that were on the ship and they had positive experience according to them. Oh, on the Encore. The Escape. Maybe the Escape is running into supply chain issues. Cruising says I stay in Galveston. Okay, that's cool. Stay safe. Cruising is fun. Thanks, Gretchen. Hot. The O is from the French work for hot. Oui. No, but lots of snow to melt yet. Okay, so it's not snowing up there with Nanook of the North. 10 days, right around 32. Oh, that's a heat wave. Holy cow. NCL still has March 26th Escape cruise available for booking. Sail away balcony from $649. Wow. Not a bad price on the Escape. They must have gotten it repaired, or else the damage was very minimal, I guess. Gretchen says, oh, me not like you 32. There's Emily. Hi, guys. Did you steal the thing again? Chillie has some sun on his face. Chillie's still, that's a pretty bright light in this room, too. It's a fluorescent bulb. It's lighter than more direct light than I'm used to. John says I'm exactly 350 miles from Galveston. Yeah, that's about right. And so we're gonna knock out 120 of that tomorrow, roughly, to Henderson. I'll stay in Henderson tomorrow night, so I'll be down to 230. So that'll be an easy drive over, like 4 hours. Best news, Chillie, that 649 has a no single supplement deal, 853 for solo with taxes and port fees. Sweet. Well, I'm glad to see them doing that, even if it is under these circumstances. And Emily did steal the walkie-talkie again. You're going to get your butt in trouble, Emily. Keep telling you that. So the April 2nd cruise is $599 with no single surcharge. Wow. That's awesome. That means that they want people. So they've gotten it fixed. If they're dropping the prices like that, that's trying to reel the people back in that were canceling and scurrying. So, all right, guys, I'm going to slip downstairs and take care of my room, see if I have to move or if I'm staying here and all that stuff. If we have any news later on today, or when we see what this storm does, I could pop up with a quick turnaround live stream again. I'll try to get a few minutes lead time and plastered everywhere like I did last night when I decided to do that when I got back from dinner. But yeah, we'll let you know what's happening. But thankfully, folks, as I know I've had messages from just a ton of you guys. I'm safe and sound. I'm staying put, and I'm so tickled about that. So, all right, folks, I will see everybody tomorrow, same time, same channel. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. That helps us out a lot. And as always, we appreciate thumbs up. So that's it for today, guys. I'll see everybody tomorrow and possibly later on today or this evening with a live stream if we got anything to talk about. So that's it for now. Thanks for being with me, guys. I'll stay as safe as possible. I'm going to be a coward on this one. We'll talk to you guys real soon. Thanks, guys. Later.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.